Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL, don't panic. Just a little follow on from the last video I did. I'm gonna keep this brief, but this one could turn into a little bit of one of my inner monologue rambles, because there is so much going on to think about. Further information obviously coming through now that we've had FA Cup matches and things, so we're starting to get a little bit of more information in terms of what 33 and 34 will look like, but also just more injuries just to add to my challenges. But I do like a challenge. That's actually weird saying that. I kind of I know I had my flawed chip strategy at the beginning of the season, and we will definitely talk more about that at some point in the future. But I'm kind of enjoying this challenge of trying to create this jigsaw to get through these games and see if I can keep things at least vaguely on track. Anyway, going to start with game week 25, and we can obviously see the new problem on my immediate horizon, which is the Konsa injury. Now, it's not the worst one in the world, because Konsa's replacement was likely to be probably a Huijsen, someone like that. So it just means bringing that forward. And is that actually a big issue, given that Huijsen has a really nice fixture against Southampton? I would have been bringing him anyways. Konsa, yeah, great fixture at home to Ipswich, but then it's Liverpool and don't really expect a clean sheet there, so maybe at most you might have got an appearance point or two, or listen, Liverpool could be a minus, so maybe there's a blessing in disguise there somewhere. It doesn't look good for him from what I could see of the injury. Now I'm not going to make I'll keeping an eye on price changes, because they are starting to hurt me a wee bit, some of the changes that are going on towards where I want to be in 29. Could be a transfer. I might make it early. I know I might have to take the risk there. Huijsen is starting to prove a reasonably popular buy for obvious reasons with the Bournemouth fixture run, and I do think his price is going to start to escalate. Particularly over the next week or two. So just keeping an eye on price changes there. But it is highly likely, I think, that will be my transfer going into game week 25. Even though, so someone could say, well, why don't you bring in a doubler, bring in Digne? But I just don't. Yeah, it's just creating another transfer for me for 29, and another issue I've got to deal with. And we'll talk again about where I want to be by 29 as we're going into big double 33, big blank 34. So I think Huijsen will be the transfer coming in for Konsa, and I'm going to try and hold out until after. I don't think I've got anyone in Europe, but certainly, obviously, we've got the Liverpool-Everton match. So I'm going to try and hold out until after that to make that final decision. I really had almost made a decision to bring in Kluivert for Ahmad, but that one will just have to be put on ice, I think, and hopefully Ahmad can do the business against Spurs. The other problems there are still obviously Trent and Watkins. I think the noises are good around Watkins, that he should be okay. Maybe there might be a bit of a minute's risk there, but as I'm listening to some of the other content providers as well, in particular, they're all trying to find ways to get him in, and one or two, I still can't believe it, thinking about taking out Isak for Watkins. Not too many. Most are, in fairness, advising, as I am strongly against that. I just don't think that is worth it. If you've got a João Pedro or someone like that, and you've got a way of getting to Watkins through that, and still, as I say, I stress, listen out for any news updates on his injury. Has he been seen in training? But I certainly wouldn't be taking out Isak for him. I wouldn't be taking out Wood for him. I don't think I'd be taking out a Mateta for him, to be honest with you. I'm just sort of kind of lucky, hopefully if he plays, that I have actually had him for a few weeks. And he's not been doing too badly for me. His underlying numbers have been very good, and he has actually been returning most weeks, unspectacularly, but returning. So yeah, obviously it's a good position to be in to have him already for the double, if he plays. On Trent, I doubt we're going to see him against Everton. but I think most people are in exactly that same situation as me. I think he's very, very highly owned, so it's not going to hurt too much. So it looks like it'll be just a double or less if he doesn't play against Everton. And then, yeah, I'm not too perturbed by Milenkovic coming in. I suppose the question would be, could I go for a Konate or something if it looks really, really doubtful for Trent? That really is probably the bigger dilemma, I think, in this whole picture with these injuries. I just have to wait and see how it plays out. Just have to wait until after the Everton match. But that's kind of where it's going to be. I think Konsa will definitely be replaced by Huijsen. It does not look good for Konsa for game week 25, so I think that's 90% certain I'll do that, depending on if there's any other developments, injuries, etc. So team in itself for the double, double 25 does not look too bad, and hopefully I can just get away with doing the one transfer, because I do think I just want to try and keep it to the 3 transfers that I need as we head towards, and we'll just flick towards, because I do have reasonable rotations. I will update the spreadsheet so you can see sort of where players were coming in, where Trent will be going out, which is going to free up some money. And then where the various moves I'll make as I go down the track. So certainly Trent will go, I think that'll be around 27, 28. Then there'll be sort of big decisions around, do I do 3 transfers or 4? Let me just get up to 29 here so we can see this. Yeah, at the moment I've got Hall, Salah and Isak would be on the bench at 29, and it will be Trent, Konsa and Watkins that will be moving out. So those are 3 very nice, easy, straightforward transfers with good players to come in at all the various points towards 29. That will leave me with 2 transfers, then rolling past 29. We'll just talk about 33 and 34 in a second. And it still would just leave that one question: is do I somewhere in this process bring in Kluivert? I really would like that asset in there to get him in at least reasonably early in this Bournemouth run of fixtures. But I think, given how so much has changed, it's like every day something different, an injury, etc., etc. Who's won FA Cup matches? Liverpool going out of the FA Cup. Hello, that changes the landscape. I know it's a long way down the road, but it does change the landscape of that 33 and 34, because we now know. Let's just come to it. We do now know that Liverpool will be playing in both 33 and 34. In fact, the fixtures: Chelsea, Everton, Liverpool and Spurs. Yeah, we know those games are going ahead now. So in 34, so we've got just that little bit of a better picture on who will be playing in 33, and certainly not doubling in 33, but still a long way to go. There's so many FA Cup matches to go, but at least we're getting a better picture on who will not be blanking in 34, and that is really valuable information at this stage, and it's very advantageous that that means, okay, yeah, don't need to worry about Palmer, don't need to worry about Salah. Do I decide to hang on to Trent if he looks okay and comes through this injury okay? Maybe he's the one that goes on the bench. I don't know why that does that. Flipped all the way back. Okay, but let's know how I'm actually going back there. We'll just let that do that. I don't know why it jumped all the way from there to there. Do we look to bench Trent? Hang on to Trent, and it's actually maybe Hall that I move out. Yeah, ever-changing landscape. But I do think there is benefits, certainly, in at least having that bit of information. There's more FA Cup matches to come. We will have a clearer picture post 30. At the moment the plan is roughly that obviously get that full playing 11 at 29, have 1 or 2 transfers so that I can get to 33 with 5 transfers to either wild card there, get a really, really strong double team out. But as I say, having 5, but actually more than 5, because I'll have actually come out with 2. But anyway, but I'll have then 5 transfers, maybe use 1 or 2 prior to 33, whatever. Coming out of that with a really, really strong team from sort of game week 30, 34, 35 onwards. It's a jigsaw. It's a jigsaw. Ideally, I think I'd like to wildcard 35, having enough transfers, make really strong doubles 33. and managing through the blanks 34 with a full team that looks good, and you know, then bang, really big wildcard 35 to see out the season. It's an ever-evolving jigsaw, folks. It's an ever-evolving jigsaw. So that's kind of where it's at. I will be getting the spreadsheet updated. I've been wrestling obviously with computers, sound issues, etc, etc. You'll notice hopefully that the sound is a wee bit better, if not crispy clear. I've just actually reverse engineered back to my old computer. Actually, I just gave up on it. You will have no idea the pain I've been going through trying to sort this bloody thing out. Not a few of you actually have, because you've heard it. So I've just reverted back to the old computer and the old webcam just for a little bit until I can get some geeky guys in to actually sort out the other setup once and for all. There just seems to be some incompatibility between the mic and the new laptop and causing all sorts of issues. Is what it is. Hopefully this one has come out clear though. That was a little waffle just to test my old setup, which is now my new setup, before I go back to my new setup whenever I get it sorted. So hopefully this one's nice and clear, guys. Any questions, any thoughts? Put them in. As I say, it's just we're just literally dealing with new information every day. But my plan hasn't changed too much. It hasn't changed too much. That bloody Konsa injury is a bit of a freaking nuisance, to be honest with you. Really did want Clivert. I really did want Clivert this week, but I think it'll have to be Hoyson. It's actually not bad. It's not bad, and I don't think taking Konsa out is going to be too much of a detriment to the game week 25 side, because I couldn't really see much more. And listen, I don't think there was. Maybe I actually fancy. Yeah, I think maybe I fancy Hoyson for a better chance of a clean sheet against Southampton than maybe Villa against Ipswich. You know, Villa got a lot of injury problems. They've brought in a few new signings they're trying to bed in. I'm just, if any of you are thinking about bringing in Villa assets for 25, I'm not doing it. I did see one survey of sort of FPL expert survey. There's about 60 or 70% of them are running with no Villa assets for that double game week. Now that seems a little bit crazy, but I get it. I just don't think Villa are that fantastic. I think Watkins is the one. If we can get some sort of confirmation that Watkins is fit to play, I think that is the one to go for. But do not transfer Isak out for Watkins. You're just making more trouble for yourself for game week 29. And I still think Isak will probably outscore could easily outscore Watkins anyways against Leicester. Yeah, who knows? No, it's Man City. What am I saying? 5-1 Arsenal. Isak ran riot against them. Will run riot against anyone at the moment, on his day at least. Yeah, food for thought, guys. Food for thought. Have a little ramble again. Sorry, guys, I told you it was in a monologue time. Take care. Have fun. Play your own game. I will see you after the Liverpool match just for final decisions. I'll try and have the spreadsheet up to date, but I suspect I'm not going to get to it this week. Too many things going on. So I'll see you on the flip side. Take care. Bye bye.